Ladies and gentlemen, Martha Karua has finally joined Raila Amolo Odinga. What value will Martha Karua add to Raila Odinga's presidential bid? That's the question which most Kenyans are asking. In this video, I want us to look at the move by Martha Karua to join Raila Amolo Odinga. Before we do that, I've always told you guys that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. And that in politics, everything is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objective. Yesterday, Moses Kuria made some interesting posts on his official page. Let me just revisit the post he made. Moses Kuria was saying, "To my good friend and soulmate, Honorable Martha Karua, we cannot make ourselves ideal humans from clay. We can only live with the ones God gave us, with all their imperfections and frailties. Pick a side and put your jersey. I look forward to an imminent Ruto Karua ticket to save this country from eternal dynastic domination and give hope to millions of children who went to school barefooted." Now, this is the part which caught my attention, and I think I mentioned it in one of my previous videos, one of my earlier videos today. He's saying, if you decide otherwise, yani, if Martha Karua decides not to join them, if you decide otherwise, you will still remain my sister, my senior, and my friend. From this post, it was clear that Moses Kuria had prior information that Martha Karua was going to make a choice and that Martha Karua was going to join the Azimio La Umoja movement. And that's why he left that rider below there, that if you decide otherwise, you will still remain my sister, my senior, and my friend. And immediately Martha Karua made that move. This is what Moses Kuria updated. "I respect the decision by my sister, Martha Karua, to join Azimio, just like she respected my decision to join the Kenya Kwanza Alliance. Ultimately, Kenya is the winner and democracy will prevail. May the best team win." If you can't get it, forget about it. But Moses Kuria, in my view, still remains a Trojan horse. So earlier today, Martha Karua and Raila Odinga met. And Martha Karua announced officially that she's going to join the Azimio La Umoja movement. Listen in to Martha Karua very briefly before we proceed.
The Right Honorable Prime Minister and the Azimio Coalition flag bearer, Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. All the distinguished men and women, ladies and gentlemen in this tent and members of the press, I'm here to confirm that from now onwards, Narc Kenya and I are supporting the Azimio presidential candidate, the Right Honorable Raila Odinga. And this is without any equivocation. I have said time and again, and Narc Kenya believes in this, that as we move forward, we must look for leaders who have a demonstrated track record of being selfless, of putting the interests of the nation above theirs. People who can fulfill promises, because it's easy to make promises during campaign. But we know that without integrity in leadership, without safeguarding public resources, all those promises will amount to nothing. While acknowledging that no side has only saints, all sides have people who may have looted in the past, all sides have people who do not believe in the rule of law, and all sides have good people. I've been looking keenly and have been able, without much struggle, to identify a critical mass of good people within the Azimio coalition. And that is needed to steer the nation in the right direction. I have been in the trenches with the Azimio presidential flag bearer, Comrade Raila Odinga. At this stage, because that is a struggle language, I will not use Baba, I will say comrade. We've been in the trenches together. We've come a long way in the struggle and fight for liberation in this country, the second liberation, fight for the constitution. And when we have had disagreements, we've been able to lay them on the table, overcome them in the interest of the people of Kenya. We are convinced that we'll be able to forge forward in the best interest of the people of Kenya, putting always the interests of Kenya ahead of any other partisan or personal interest. That is the commitment we are making to Kenyans today. And as we make this journey in Azimio together with others, I'm sure we will have many more time of briefing the nation and our members of where we are in this journey.
No, that's Martha Karua. And for me, and based on what Martha Karua has consistently been saying, I knew so well that there was no way Martha Karua was going to join William Samoei Arap Ruto. But I was also not very sure whether Martha Karua was going to join Raila Odinga.
Yeah. If you don't run as a presidential candidate, and you had a choice between Ruto and Raila, who would you support?
I would obviously support Raila, but it's far away from Raila. One, Raila hasn't declared, but I've said I consider Ruto unsuitable. And I have my own reasons. His supporters have their own reasons, but I also have my right to speak out. I consider him totally unsuitable. But that's my view as an individual. Raila is a person who has worked for this country, a person we have worked together. Nobody is perfect. If you gave me the two, I wouldn't even have to think I'd take Raila running.
No, that's Martha Karua. So the question is, what next for Martha Karua? After joining Raila Odinga, Martha Karua will have only 3 options. I want to give you those options, then we go into what the move to join Raila Odinga means. The first option Martha Karua has is to pursue her gubernatorial interest in Kirinyaga. If she will decide like that, then she's going to face off with Anne Waiguru and Purity Ngirishi. So that's the first option. The second option is for her to be considered as a running mate. Is that possible? So those are the only 2 options she has, because I don't think Martha Karua will just sit there, wait to be appointed a cabinet secretary. For me, Martha Karua will either decide to run for the gubernatorial seat in Kirinyaga or to be Raila Odinga's running mate. But after that move, what do you think was the objective? Or how do you think the move by Martha Karua will help Raila Amolo Odinga's bid for the presidency? Number 1, Martha Karua was appointed the spokesperson of the Kikuyu nation. Uhuru Kenyatta is the president of the Republic of Kenya. He was the de facto leader from the larger Mount Kenya region. But sometimes last year, Mwangi Kiunjuri, Martha Karua, Moses Kuria, and I think to some extent JB Mutori teamed up. And they appointed Martha Karua as the spokesperson of the entire Mount Kenya region. So Martha Karua can still speak in that capacity. And that's why I think it took Martha Karua a lot of time to decide to betray these people. Because if she had moved earlier, she would have betrayed these people. So Martha Karua waited for Moses Kuria to make a choice. She waited for Mwangi Kiunjuri to make a choice. And then now is when she's making the choice. Is Martha Karua paving the way for Moses Kuria and Kiunjuri to join her? I'm waiting to see that. So that's the first significance. The other way it's going to aid Raila Odinga is that Martha Karua and Raila Odinga's ticket will be reform oriented. Or let me not put it that way. I'm not sure whether Martha Karua will be Raila Odinga's running mate. But Martha Karua joining Raila Odinga will basically aid Raila Odinga's reform credential. You see, if you compare William Ruto and Raila Odinga fought for the democracy, the one Moses Kuria and the rest are enjoying. Raila Odinga is known, you can say, when it comes to Kenya, Raila Odinga has fought for ABCD. The evolution can be attributed to him. But when you look at Ruto, he has basically done nothing apart from being that he was in KANU, Youth for KANU, contested, served the government, maybe in his capacity as a cabinet minister, did this or that. There's nothing. But when Raila Odinga entered into the handshake with President Uhuru Kenyatta, he lost his reform credentials because there were certain things which Raila Odinga stood for, and those things were eroded when he shook hands with President Uhuru Kenyatta. So if you've been studying Raila Odinga of late, he's been trying to craft a team of non-reformists. He brought on board Professor Makau Mutua. Professor Kivutha Kibwana joined Raila Odinga. Martha Karua has now joined him. Let me know if there's any other reform-oriented. In fact, Koigi Wamwere also joined Raila Odinga. So let me know any other reformist or reform-oriented person who is left with the deputy president. Because at some point, the deputy president was so keen on winning the support of the reformist to an extent that he managed to penetrate the civil society. So that reform credentials will now be back. Number 3, which in my view is the most important, is the possibility of Martha Karua being used to solve the running mate equation in Raila Odinga's camp or in the Azimio. Martha Karua is a member of One Kenya Alliance leadership. One Kenya is insisting that they want the position of the running mate. So Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta can decide, let us give Martha Karua the running mate. If they'll do that, Kalonzo and Gideon Moi will not complain. Why? Because these two gentlemen were part of OCA, and therefore if one of OCA principal is appointed, none of them should have a problem. Because in the agreement they signed, it's actually binding. So that's number 1. Number 2, Martha Karua will also solve the female factor. You see, Martha Karua is a woman. If she were to be appointed, definitely that will be a first one. We'll have a possibility of a president and a deputy president who is a female. So she will help in that. And importantly, if Martha Karua to be appointed, she'll sort the OCA factor, the female factor will be big, and then she will also help in sorting out the Mount Kenya equation. Because if you are saying that the next president, for Raila Odinga to become president, he needs the support of the larger Mount Kenya region. Martha Karua comes from Mount Kenya, and she's a woman, and she's also part of OCA. So one stone can actually be used to kill 3 birds at the same time. But you only need someone who can hit the target without missing. So Martha Karua can easily sort out the running mate equation in the Azimio La Umoja movement. Number 4, in my view, is that Martha Karua will bring with her what I normally refer to as perceptional value. William Ruto has been winning defectors left, right, and center. And even small people, the deputy president meets them, they defect, then he makes a huge deal out of them. He received them at Karen, put a photo there, post on his social media handles. To an extent that as we speak now, in the larger Mount Kenya region, the assumption was that President Uhuru Kenyatta was now alone. Most of people had decided to join Ruto. By Martha Karua now joining Raila Odinga, it will mean that perception that Uhuru was losing Mount Kenya is now being shed off. And number 4, in my view, is the debating skills. Martha Karua is a no-nonsense politician. ODM supporters will have issues with Martha Karua. That one I can predict. most of them feel that Martha Karua actually frustrated Raila Odinga's bid for the presidency. But this is also opportunity for her to make fences. But when it comes to debate, because we are going to start having debates, people who can debate on TV on behalf of Azimio, on behalf of ODM, Martha Karua will fit the bill. Having been a minister for constitutional affairs, having been a minister for water, having been a presidential candidate herself, and also as a person who comes from the larger Mount Kenya region, that debating skill will be required moving forward. And lastly is the Mount Kenya politics. Will Martha Karua be the person who will save President Uhuru Kenyatta from being shamed by William Ruto and his cronies? That's the question. So let us wait and see how everything is going to unfold. But for now, it is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.